afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you may be. You're visiting with Mr. V again. We're in Hollywood. I'm on my way again to the boulevard. It's very loud here at this intersection, but I wanted you to just catch a sight here of something I see every day, some historical things. That's the HollywoodTowerHotel. That's the CapitolRecordsBuilding, and we're going to be heading that away to talk to a friend. His name is AdamPapagan, and he wrote a book. So let's go talk to him about it at his office on Hollywood Boulevard. Welcome again. So for you at home, this will be fast, but for me and my friend Andrew here, it's a long walk in the Hollywood day. Oh, but look, here's a historical site. I've talked about this. No, never mind. I can't see it. Almost there. Almost there.
All around the world here. You don't get that everywhere.
Okay, I think we're here. This little alleyway here. Oh, hi, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Mr. V?
I'm good, ladies and gentlemen. AdamPapagan. Okay, I hope this is recording. I hope so, because we moved inside just off the patio way here, and welcome to another visit with Mr. V. We're here with my guest AdamPapagan, center frame here, working with my phone, and another friend over here, Andrew, who has my GoPro today. But it's not about Andrew, it's about Adam. Adam wrote a book. There it is. Behind the Scenes in Los Angeles by that guy, AdamPapagan. So Adam, I have some notes here. I have some questions.
Okay, wow.
And we're gonna do this like classic Huell Hauser style, because that's how we met.
Yes.
Isn't it? Tell me about when we met.
I was doing a screening series at a little video store in Echo Park showing Huell Hauser episodes. And it attracted some interesting people. Let's just say that.
Oh,
very interesting people. And that's how.
Wow.
That's how I met Mr. V.
Yeah. Well, I must be an interesting person. Depends on your definition of interesting, right? Visiting with Huell Hauser with AdamPapagan. Was that what it was?
That was the full title.
Yeah. See, I always wanted to do a special visiting with AdamPapagan with Huell Hauser with AdamPapagan with Mr. V.
Yeah, I like that.
So here we are today,
Well,
right?
When we bring it back, we can do that.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
maybe so. Okay, so listen, you're an LA kid.
Yeah.
Tell me about, because I'm an LA kid too.
Oh, what high school did you go to?
I went to Simi Valley High School, but I was born in Orange County, city of Orange. So tell me, like, just your early years real quick as an LA kid.
Yeah, I mostly grew up in the Miracle Mile and Westwood area, born at Cedar Sinai, where many celebrities are born and pass away. So got a little cred right there. Yeah, West LA until I went to UCLA, so I was in West LA basically through college, and then moved over to Silver Lake, as you do in your 20s in the mid-2000s, and bounced around Santa Monica, West Hollywood, and now I'm in Glendale.
So your early career, it seems like, from your credits in the book, are as a tour guide.
Yeah, I would say the tour guide was maybe my second career, because I used to be a musician when I was in my early 20s. I played with a guy named David Liebehart, himself a Los Angeles landmark.
Yes, the Christian Science Monitor Hour, Puppet Hour.
The Junior Christian Science Bible lesson program,
yes,
but that's... Yeah, he did it for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And that's how I met David through public access from his show.
Okay.
So I did that for a while, and then I probably didn't become a tour guide till I was in my late 20s, and it was like, okay, I'm not doing music anymore. What's something else that's kind of creative that can draw on my interest in driving around, looking at
You
things.
created some interesting tours. According to the book, the OJ tour was apparently fairly successful. Why OJ?
Well, I grew up in West LA when the trial was happening. So it was like, a lot of people have like a personal connection to that trial because it was on TV so much and it was just such a big part of that era. But it was like literally a part of my life. Like I would like, when the car chase happened, I was at summer camp, a block from Nicole Simpson's house, and they brought us inside because like the juice is on the loose, the chase was happening, and we were watching the chase while the helicopters were overhead, and it just always just left this big impression on me. I was like, because when you're like 6-7 years old, like the world doesn't make sense, Yeah. And so I'm just like, oh, this seems really weird and crazy. Like, why is this such an exciting event? And then after decades of researching it, I was like, oh, because it was a really crazy, exciting event.
It really was a world-shattering thing. And then what's interesting to me is like this was your neighborhood, so it just seems natural.
Imagine the biggest news story in your town of the kid who went missing or the car accident that killed the debutante on her way to prom or whatever. But this is the OJ trial. So even the local news was covering this. Yeah. Like I'd watch The Simpsons, ironically. And then they would just always be like teasing Fox 11 News at 10, which was like probably still is real sensational. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, you never guess what OJ's up to. So it was just, they're always just sort of like baiting you into like, showing it. Simpsons is like, it's a cartoon. It's basically a children's show. But then the ads are for this like, murder, celebrity, sex.
It was a big show. Yeah, it really was. It was a big show. So that makes sense that it would make a good tour. Right? Yeah. So that was a successful. Was that your first tour or what?
Yes. Yeah, that was the first one I did on my own. I actually inherited it from a friend of mine's father.
Oh, okay.
He just kind of came up with it. And I did it for years, not as an official thing, and then just momentum built up, and I was like, okay, maybe I can do this. So then I started working as a private tour guide for a company, just celebrity homes, Venice Beach, Hollywood sign, that kind of stuff. And then I was like, why am I working for somebody doing this? It's just driving around and talking.
Right. Well, I want to work for you. So
well, you'll have to drive around and talk a lot.
Right. Yeah.
So then I became just a private tour guide. Did the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills tour, which is still like my bread and butter. Yeah. It really is a fun tour because you get to like talk trash about your favorite housewives.
And they're actually
in their driveway.
It's the real house too. That's kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. They're really the real houses of the Real Housewives. That's cool.
Because none of them are married at this point, but they all live in houses.
So until you can find their house, you still know where their houses are. Yeah. That's interesting. So let's talk about the book. What brought you to writing a book?
Well, about 2021 and 2022, I tour guided all through the pandemic, up and down, social distance tours, private, all this stuff. I was really burned out. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to retire from tour guiding. But I should commit all of the information I've learned over the past couple years into like a book, so then I have this something to show for all of this time.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. So you're still sharing your knowledge with the world. And not to interrupt you, but it really is a great reference, for someone like me who lives in LA and kind of does this, not as well as this guy does, but it's going to give me a wealth of opportunity to go find stuff, and you've got great stories, behind the scenes stories about stuff. And the thing I really like is with each entry he has the best time to go and where to park. That's really cool. Now, what made you think of that?
So nowadays, most people who come to LA, so I wrote this from the point of view of I'm a tour guide, and this is things that people from out of town are asking me about.
The ultimate tour, kind of Adam's ultimate tour.
Kind of, yeah. Or just like, because like sometimes, because there's some obscure stuff in there, but that I point out all the time because like you're going down the street, there's in between stuff, there's nothing to talk about. So I go, hey, you see that building down there on Pico? There's actually an oil well in that building. And they go, oh, crazy. Wow, it is stuff like that. Oh, Beverly Center. I heard about that mall. We're going to shop there later. Oh, there's an oil well in there, too. Oh, wow. So there's all these connections and stuff.
So little things even, see, I took a tour in Germany, and the guy took 3 extra hours with me just because we were having fun and showed me all those little nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
That you don't get to see on every one of your tours, right?
People really like that. Sometimes I'll like drive by like a store. I'll be like, I bought a rug there in 2009. Just stuff that kind of puts like a personal touch on these stories and places people have heard about. So most people take Ubers and stuff now, but I'm always, if they ask me, I'm just like, rent a car. You'll get so much more. And this isn't like renting a car any place you go. This is LA is like built for cars.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
can't
Yeah, it's a
get-
driving city. It really is.
You can't get to certain public spaces if you don't have a car. You can't go to Mulholland Drive if you don't have a vehicle. You know, that's a public road. The views are beautiful. Yeah, there's private property all over it, but that's absolutely something people should see. You know, a lot of cities don't have a mountain range in the middle. In fact, probably most don't.
It's a good point. I heard you. I went to an event where Adam spoke up at in Glendale at Forest Lawn, and you mentioned that, and yeah, that's a great place where you can see. There's mountains going right through the middle of this city. Yeah, it's amazing.
I think the only other major city is Mumbai, because they have mountain lions too there. It's like the only other city that has like a mountain lion.
Right. Do you mention the mountain lion P-22 in your book?
I don't. Whew,
That's just that's local to my neighborhood. That's just an aside. We'll talk about that.
It might be in the Griffith Park entry, actually.
Yeah, so
I wrote some of these so long ago that but I.
So you just compiled all these notes through the years, kind of all your tours and stuff like that, and you put it all down.
Compiled it mainly in here.
Oh, so
and
you
the
took
book was like. Oh right. I guess I never have technically been on the Warner Brothers studio tour. Better do that. That was a fun part of the research. Is I had an excuse to go to stuff that I had never been to.
Oh yeah. So you really
Warner Brothers tour.
digging it. I've never been on the Warner Brothers tour, and I was a Universal tour guide.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
That seems like a cool gig.
But that's why I'm drawn to what I will facetiously say we do, and what you've been doing for years is finding those interesting things. I always imagine when I'm walking around. I was walking around with Andrew earlier. I'm all this building and that thing. I can't stop myself.
There's just there's really a lot of history here.
Tell me something within a block here that's interesting to take a look at.
Okay, yeah. So Hollywood Boulevard is like your ground zero of like attractions in LA. Right. But pretty much everything on this block. So let me think. If you go Arson's Patio, one of the old, it's landmark 457. I don't think it would get landmark today because it's been architecturally modified a lot. But it's the last courtyard building that's on Hollywood Boulevard, built between 1911 and 1914. The earliest permit I could find for this place was 1911, but I think 1914 was when it was mainly built. So a good 10 plus years before the Chinese theater or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
This building was here.
Yeah.
Like before the movie business was here, but before the theaters and
What about the theater across the street?
Well, across the street you have the Egyptian Theater, now owned by Netflix. Immediately outside.
That's 100 years old this year in 2025.
That's right. Yeah.
So built after this courtyard that we're in right now. Very interesting. Keep going.
You got the Walk of Fame, which is all around us. In particular, 2 stars just right here are Richie Valens from Southern California. Mm-hmm. And a fun thing about him is that a bunch of fans in the Pacoima neighborhood raised the funds to buy the star. It's not just like, oh, there's a La Bamba movie coming out. That actually was like a...
Yeah, that's an interesting thing about the stars on Hollywood Boulevard. People don't realize you basically buy the star. Fan clubs will get together to do that. That's amazing. His local community got the star for Richie Valens.
And Thomas Ince, who was one of the early mysterious celebrity deaths. That's what I remember. He was murdered by I think it was William Randolph Hearst.
Yeah.
He was sleeping with Hearst's mistress or something. There's a lot of palace.
He thought he was Charlie Chaplin because Chaplin was sleeping with Marion Davies, or was he? But he thought he wasn't, so he shot him in the back. But it wasn't Charlie; it was Ince. That's a whole nother video coming sometime.
They get, instead of calling the police, they call the PR person at Paramount to fix the whole thing, and they said it was appendicitis or something, but it was actually a gunshot wound. Yeah. And then next door was the Pickwick bookstore, who the owner of this building's family owned that. That was the largest bookstore on the West Coast.
Here on this block.
Yeah, it's the Taco Bell Cantina now, which is a Taco Bell where they serve alcohol. So
that's pretty cool.
That's cool right there.
Right. And then next to the Egyptian, I just want to insert, of course, what once was the Pig and Whistle, right, is another cantina now.
Oh, Mr. Tempo Cantina.
Yeah.
And he destroyed a lot of the interiors,
Yeah.
which were actually not original interiors.
Oh, so
the original.
maybe we overreacted a little bit. Still, I'm not going in there.
Well, the original interiors of the Pig and Whistle are actually at Michelli's across the street from here.
That's right. That's right. All the furnishings are at Michelli's.
Yeah.
If you sit there, there's pigs on all the furniture at Michelli's. So much to talk about, Adam.
Yeah.
So much to talk about. We got to wrap this up. There's a couple of interesting things I want to talk about before my battery dies here. You ran for governor?
Yeah, in the recall election in 2021.
Yeah. Tell me about that experience.
Well, I loved the original recall where Arnold became president or governor back in the mid 2000s, but I was too young to vote, much less raise the $5,000 whatever it is to run for office. But when there is a recall election, a lot of the bureaucratic hurdles and financial hurdles to running for office, statewide office, are eliminated. That's why there were so many candidates in both of the recall, both of the recall elections. So, I saw this thing was coming and it got approved, and I was like, there's no way I'm not running for governor.
Right.
It's,
That was kind of the thing when Arnold ran. It was kind of like I'm running for governor. I'm running for governor.
Right.
I'm running for governor. So why not, right? But what was your platform? Because that's what I want to get out there.
Sure. My platform was, because I knew I didn't really stand a great chance, but my platform was political literacy. So I wanted to educate people about the process, because this is America, right? Democracy. Anybody can be president, right? Anybody can run for office, right? No, it costs a lot of money. You need community connections. The paperwork that you have to turn into the LA County Registrar Recorder's Office, and this is just LA County, forget about all the counties in the state and all the states in the country, is only open weekdays 9 to 5. So if you work a job, you got to take off work to hand in this piece of paper, or you've got to pay somebody to do it. So it's...
You can't just run. Yeah. You must love California, though. I can see that. So what are you passionate about, as we wrap things up, about California right now? If I was on your personal tour, okay, where are you going?
Great question. Lately, I've been into adobe houses and the Mexican and Spanish colonial eras of California. Buildings built between 1780 and into the 50s. They were building adobes. But yeah, adobe structures.
Yeah, I love that too. There's great history out where I'm from, Ventura County. A lot of adobes there, and of course the missions. Right? Which mission did you build in 4th grade?
The Capistrano mission.
Oh.
I believe.
Yeah. I built San Luis Obispo. I can still see it to this day. Yeah. Adam, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And how do we get in touch with you? How do we take your tour? How do we get your book?
Social media at AdamPapagan, AdamPapagan. You could DM me there if you want to take a tour. I mainly just do the Housewives tour, which you can book through housewivetour.com. But I do all kinds of stuff. It's just you got to go give the people what they want.
Yeah.
And then the book, LAbook.bigcartel.com.
So, thanks again, Adam, for visiting with Mr. V. But bye for now. Hey, Des.
Come on over. Zoltar will give you a random pizza.
Look what I found.
Absolutely, and I don't know if I should say this or not, but